Hey, what is up, fellow raiders? This is Vulcan Dan, and in today's Raid Shadow Legends video, we are going to talk about the AOE Freeze champions in Raid to prepare for the upcoming new Doom Tower boss, BOMMAL the Dreadhorn. Now, we are expecting that in the next Doom Tower rotation, which is still quite a while away, but of course, we have to prepare early so that we are ready when that time comes. Now, we are not told a whole lot of info about that new Doom Tower boss. We were just told that we need to prepare bomb champions because you can use bombs against that boss, and we're expecting bombs to be effective. And also freeze champions in order to take care of the Dreadbombs, which are the ads on the side of the boss. We are told that the Dreadbombs cannot be killed, but we can reduce the damage that they will deal to your entire party by putting freeze on them. Now, of course, we want AOE freeze as opposed to single target freeze for that consistency. Now, you might think, all right, yeah, we'll have quite a few or a good selection of AOE freeze champions in raid, but actually, there's not a lot. So very few champions, and most of them are legendary. So take a look at your roster and see if you have some of these AOE freeze champions in them. And let's start with rares first. All right, so rare, we actually have this one right here, Hellfang. Now he's probably the worst of the AOE freeze champions, but of course we have to mention him because he does have that. In his A3, AOE freeze can book that up to a 75% chance with a 4-turn cooldown, so not so bad, but you need to have Hound Spawn in the same team. Now, Hound Spawn is from the same faction, Demon Spawn, but he's not very useful as well. He has a stun on A1, decreased defense A2, and AOE ignore defense and ignore block damage if the target has a freeze, which if it's a boss, most likely you cannot freeze the actual boss itself. You're going to be freezing the Dreadbombs by the side. So Hellfang, probably not a good option as an AOE freeze. There is just one more AOE freeze rare, and that is, where is he? No, he's in Skinwalker. There you go, Greybeard. Yeah, Greybeard also has an AOE freeze in his A2, but it's a very low chance, so you can book this up to a 40% chance to freeze. It is on a 3-turn cooldown when booked, so it's one of the more consistent freeze in terms of getting to the next rotation, but has a very low chance of just a 40% chance. But for a rare, he's probably your best bet. If you don't have any of the legendaries or the epics, I hope you have a Greybeard sitting around somewhere so that you can build him up. All right, and that's it for the rares. And for the epics, let's go to this guy. You might know him from Arena. He is a very well-known Arena champion, Jingle Hunter. So he has this AOE freeze in his A2, but he has to kill the enemy. So you'll probably not be able to use him for this new Doom Tower boss, but still I have to mention him, but he will not be of use for that. We have one other, and he's a new one. Let's see, where's that guy? Oh yeah, Achak the Wenderin. There you go. So one of the newer champions. So he has this AOE freeze here, but it is situational. You have, or the enemy has to have higher attack than their defense. Now, of course, we're expecting, or we don't know what the stats of the Dreadbombs are. Maybe it has high attack because we're expecting it to be some sort of a bomb kind of enemy, and they cannot be killed, so maybe they don't need any defense, but we don't know. But yeah, if there is a good chance that Achak will work on them, and if not, you have this HP burn which can land on the boss, I think. So yeah, Achak is one of those selections or options for epics. There is one more for the epic for a total of 3, and I think among the lot she is the best epic or choice for your AOE Freeze if you're looking for an epic champion, and that is Luria. So she has her AOE Freeze right here, can be booked up to a 75% chance. Pretty good for a freeze. It's on a 4-turn cooldown, and you don't even need to book that to reduce the cooldown to 4. It's just there, but of course if you want the extra chance, it's only a 50% chance unbooked to land that AOE Freeze. But for epics, she is probably your best choice, and her other skills are also quite useful. So she has this A1 that can land decreased defense, heal reduction, or decreased speed. I think this can be of good use in the boss, especially probably the decreased speed part, maybe the heal reduction if the boss has some heal mechanics. We still have to see. And her A3 is also pretty useful, which is a remove all buff and has 100% chance when booked to place block buffs. Might be good for the boss as well. So for the epics, Luria is looking like your best option. If you have her, she is a spirit affinity, not a void. So I'm hoping that some of you do have her, and most players will probably use her unless you have some of these legendary champions. Now for your legendaries, we do have the popular Tormin. I don't have him. Yeah. But he has this AoE freeze on his A1, and of course his whole kit is all about freeze. He also has this passive. I don't know if the passive will work against the boss unless he is putting some buffs or increasing the turn meter of the Dreadbombs. But yeah, he has this consistent A1 AoE freeze, but it is on a very low chance to land. If booked, it's only a 25% chance, but at least it's on an A1. So Tormin could be a good option. Just remember that Tormin is a defense-based champion, which makes him sturdy. But for this Doom Tower boss, we're expecting, of course, a lot of bomb damage, and bomb ignores defense. So you might need your to build your Tormin with more HP to survive those bomb hits. Another bomb champion for legendary is, let's see. All right, yeah. This girl right here, Shirimani. So she has an AoE 100% chance to freeze with the turn meter fill. So yeah, so this can be a 5-turn cooldown. So if you have her, you'll probably use her for that champion or for that Doom Tower boss. She is an excellent AoE freeze, very consistent, 5-turn cooldown, 100% chance, and she does has this this A1 attack 3 times at random to freeze. So it's one of those good backup freeze just in case you don't get this 5-turn cooldown in time. She has this A1. So among all of the freeze champions, she is one of the best or most consistent ones probably for this Doom Tower boss. I don't have her, unfortunately. Another good option is Ray right here. Although her freeze is on a very high cooldown, 7 turns, but you can book that up to a 6 turn. Still one of the highest cooldowns in the game. So not very consistent value. Ray does hit hard, but this does not matter against those Dreadbombs because you cannot kill them. You cannot kill those Dreadbombs. So damage on the Dreadbombs does not make any difference. You just need to make sure that you land those freeze. Her freeze is only on a 70% chance when booked. So yeah, so Ray is another option if you don't have Shirimani, or if you don't have Luria and you have Ray instead. So you can use her. Just remember that her freeze is on a very long cooldown. All right, and probably everyone who's watching this video, if you're watching this video in 2021, you probably have this guy, Ninja, because of course he's a 7-day free login reward. He has this AoE freeze here, but only if you're not targeting the boss. Now, of course, that would be a boss fight, so we might need to manual Ninja if we are using him for that AoE freeze, and you might need to target the Dreadbomb and use his A3 manually. We'll have to see if that works or not, but definitely this will not work on auto, because he will do this other part of his skill, which is ignore 50% of the target's defense, which is not bad, of course. You want to get that boss down as soon as you can, but if you want him for the freeze, he will probably not do it on auto on the boss. But yeah, he's just a last resort. Of course, we would prefer that our runs be on auto, but if you don't have it, if you don't have any other freeze champions, I'm pretty sure that all of you have Ninja. So yeah, you can use him as an AOE freeze. All right, and one more champion that is quite, not or underused by the raid community is Crypt King Grawl. He has this decreased attack A1, which can be useful, 3-hitter at random HP burn, and he has this AOE freeze, but conditional that the enemy has to have HP burn first before he can land the freeze. So definitely an inconsistent one, because this HP burn is also a 3-hitter random hit. So if you want a more consistent AOE freeze, Crypt King Grawl is not your option unless you're bringing in another person that does those AOE HP burn. But yeah, you're going to take up another champion slot for that. So, but if you don't have any other option, any other champion with AOE freeze, he can be one of your options. It is on a low cooldown, just a 4-turn. Yeah, and he has this good aura right here. Increase all allies HP by 33%. And this will be good to keep your champions alive because the bombs will ignore defense. So yeah, this is a very good aura for that Doom Tower boss fight. All right, we do have this guy, which is, where is he? There you go. But he's a void champion, Gurgo the Augur. And he has this AOE freeze right here that removes random buffs, and it grants an extra turn. So very good skill. If you have him, you will probably use him, but very few players have him because he's a void legendary. Even a lot of the pay to win endgame players don't have this guy. So, but if you do, congratulations, and he will be very useful for that new Doom Tower boss for that AOE freeze right there. All right, and last and maybe not the least, we'll see what happens when they eventually rework this champion. But here we have Pixneal. Okay, so no one likes her. Yeah, she's very underwhelming, very poor skill set, but we are expecting for her to be rebalanced soon. And what I'm thinking is that they're rebalancing her in time for this new Doom Tower rotation of course, it would increase her popularity if we can use her effectively against the new Doom Tower boss. So she has this 5 random hitter A3. I'm expecting they will make this an AOE freeze with a lot higher chance to land. If that's the case, then yes, she can be very effective. So if you fused Pixneal back in the day, then you can use her. So yes, I'm expecting that they will make her usable. So Plarium, do not disappoint us with Pixneal. Please fix her, because currently no one is using her. She's very her skills are not worth anything, very inconsistent freeze. She has this increased defense and heal, which is okay. Yeah, so this is probably the best part of her kit, but this A3 really needs a lot of work. She is a legendary champion, so please, Plarium, I hope you do her justice in your next rebalance. All right, so those are the AOE Freeze champions that we have in Raid. Not a lot of choices. We do have Ninja, of course. Luria is probably the best choice for an epic. I hope you don't have to go for the rares, which is Greybeard. So yeah, so let's hope for the best. We'll see. We don't know too much about the boss mechanics as of now, but I'm expecting them to release some info, some teasers about the new Doom Tower boss pretty soon in the next few weeks before we get to that new Doom Tower rotation. So yeah, so better get your champions ready for that. Bomb champions and AOE Freeze champions. All right, so that is it. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.